winding.
Yeah, yesterday of your subject.
My first question before that, Lata, how you got that kind of thought to write? Yesterday you were in office, right?
No. I'm not writing it. Yesterday I was in office. I think I was there from office from 8:30 till almost 3:45. Okay. So it is not that I wrote yesterday. It has been, I've been writing. I have been writing for long now.
Okay.
It's not something which I'm doing. So I keep writing whatever I think has to be noted. Just like that. I have one spiritual diary. So I keep writing it. I keep writing it so that I can reflect on it, and I look at which path I have taken and so on. So when was it? 2020 March or Feb is when Vilas was giving me one mantra. So I was doing that mantra for some 4 months or so, and then I started observing. I was able, then is when I really was able to observe my mind in the real sense, what I am thinking, how I am acting, and so on. So then after months of observation, I started writing down what I think would be my impulses and things like that. So like that it was going, and then now that I've been writing. So, and whatever I wrote, it was on, when was it? I think maybe I wrote it on Saturday or Sunday, or on one of those days. I don't remember, because and I was wondering how to proceed further. And I told you, I wrote to CM also asking for next steps, telling that this is what I have all done, and this thing. And then I also mentioned in my mail to him that I have a current teacher, Vilas. So since he saw the statement, I think he said, okay, you have a current teacher. You say you have a current teacher, you discuss with him. So, and then I think Vilas was asking me to watch that videos, right? This time-lapse video. The plant, and then on Saturday, so I was watching that, and then I watched some plants, some 5-6 plants growing, sunflower and all. That was actually good. And then I watched the video of the human growth, and then I realized both are same. No, when you start, the plant also looks more or less the same, and the human that cells, so those also looks the same. And then I looked at the sun, and then planets, and then stars. And there's one full video I got that it shows about everything up to black holes. So everything dies. So everything comes into being, grows and dies. And then afterwards everything is gone. Then there's only some kind of big what do we say? A vacuum. It's not a vacuum. It is alive with some things. So that's what that video was showing. And then Vilas was telling that you should start observing what makes the consciousness established with the 5 elements and things like that. So I was just kind of, and even if you consider human, there are two kinds of food: physical food as well as the mental food. Train is going here.
No problem. We are able to hear you.
Okay. So both are there. So I was just looking at, and I had actually started this kind of contemplation or observation, and then I dropped it, and then I restarted it. So I was just trying to see what my impulses are. What is it that comes to my mind, and how do I react to situations? So that's where I started observing, and then that is what I felt was a real self-study. So you need to know where you are, and then you can work on it. So then when I was looking at it, then I saw there are some, when you observe, you can find out what are your real impulses, and some of them will be very strong. And then you start observing it, and then you will be able to control how you react to it. So normally what happens, right? That's a simple example which I put. So I like sweets. So naturally when you want to eat some sweets, you will just go get it and eat it. It's very easy to get, right? Sweets. So you go and eat it. So that is your name. So then it will get again ingrained in your mind. That impression becomes stronger. So then again and again you will do the same thing. So that may be a very simple thing, but it is the same for all the other things as well. Faced with some similar kind of situation, you react in the same way. So and you get the same kind of thought process. So for some things you will be very happy, and then you want to crave for it, you want to that happen, you want that again and again, the same thing. For example, if I take myself, I was also looking at why I look for this appreciation, for not appreciation, why I look for success, acknowledgement, recognition from other people, also in the office. So then I was also looking at what I have been doing for the last many years. So if you from 2008 onwards, if I look back, I am kind of doing the more or less the same thing in my office, and I am getting those success, and then again I am repeating it. Only the company has changed, is again repeating it, and then I am liking that success, and I am liking that acknowledgement or recognition which is coming. So I want to repeat it again and again and again. So many successes you would have had, and maybe some failures also you had. So what you try to do, you want to have that success again and again. So that means when you are giving into that, you are making that impression very, very strong in your mind. So even if I have a next life, even if I am going to die now, then I will also be born in the same way only, in the similar kind of things, in the similar kind of job where I can get success continuously. So how to break it is what I was looking at. So when I was contemplating on that one particular, like that you can contemplate on many things. You can contemplate on personal stuff as well. So there when I was looking, then that's when I wrote all those. And I was just trying to use, and Vilas told me to think about any kind of teaching, Buddha teaching or Vedanta, and then use that and do the contemplation. So that's why I was doing that, and then I wrote all those. So that's how I wrote it. So then, and actually, I didn't know, while I was contemplating only, it came to me that our innate that vasana, vasana is all technical conceptual words, but all those impulses which you have is what makes this, what do you say, you based on that you get this combination of sattva, rajas, tamas. And that's what you consider as your personality. So it is based on that, how in which proportion it is mixed. It is dependent on your vasanas. So that insight came to me while I was contemplating on it. I was not connecting it actually. So that also means that we have an opportunity to change it in the future. So that is where I am looking at now. So how I can rewrite that in some way. So, and then while I was thinking about it a lot, and we are not able to see the self because all these vasanas and impressions are covering it up. And if you are able to remove it, even for a second, then you will be able to see the glimpse of that self. So it is always, the self is always there. It's not going anywhere. Only your mind is going in many, many places. But that's always stationary and stable. So if you are able to remove and keep away all these impulses which comes, and then you'll be able to see the self. And then you think that we can control the impulses which is coming. Actually, you cannot. It comes. It naturally, if you keep observing, without any notice, it will come up suddenly. So why and how it comes up, I don't know. I was not able to find out, but it comes up. So then, but the thing is, normally what we do when we only live with our mind. So whatever comes to your mind, you start planning and then start doing things, but we don't observe. So if you observe, then if you are able to, and it happens in lightning fast. Many things happen at lightning speed. You wouldn't be able to realize. You would have already acted based on whatever impulse is coming in your mind. But if you are able to catch it when it comes up, then you can modify what you do with it. So this is what I am trying to contemplate, and I also know that there are now in this life you have some vasanas which are very prominent, and if you can find that, maybe those you can do a little bit of, if you observe a little bit, then you can adjust. But there would be so many of those vasanas, and some vasanas which is hidden of so many millions of lives which you don't know at all. You cannot do anything. You cannot bring them one by one and then try to kill it. That is not possible. So then I've been thinking yesterday, so I was just thinking, so that is not possible to be done like that, taking one by one. Then it's a never ending thing. I don't know, maybe another million lives is needed to do that way. So the other way is, if for a second also, if you have seen that reality, then you really know what exactly that is. So if you try to be in that self consciously by remembering, then it will be better. 1 second, somebody is rang the bell. 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so what I was thinking is, if you are able to remember it always and be in that self, then this vasanas will naturally dilute and then go away. So that's what I'm thinking right now. So one by one removing is not possible, but at least to understand what's happening, then maybe you observe, take one and then try to see what happens with it. It gives you clarity about what's happening in your mind. So, and then you have to remember that self and be in that as much as possible. Then all those things will reduce. So I can see a lot of transformation in my mind. Maybe outward nobody could make out, but internally in my mind I can make out the transformation which has happened in the last 1.5 years. So now I'm continuing to do that. So let's see where it will reach me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So every day you're documenting whatever is coming to your mind in terms of spiritual message, right?
Not every day, but whenever I feel that something has to be documented, which I thought I should do, then I will do. It is not every day, but maybe one day, maybe one day I write only one line, and maybe some days I write paragraphs. So, but it is there. From the beginning, whatever I have done, I have written. Sometimes whatever experiences I have got, also those I have written. Because after some time you will forget some of it. Some will be vivid and you will never forget. But some you will miss, you will forget. I have noted down everything and kept. So, but once you get an understanding, more and more understanding, when you go back to those experiences, then it gives more insight on what that actually means.
Yeah, that is the reason. But if to you and Padmashri had asked you to document, one great thing that we all need to do, if you really want to experience spirituality, is to document what you are experiencing. Because once you get to a good level, going back to what you had experienced earlier will give you a profound experience. But if we don't document at all, then you will not be able to get there quickly.
It's not that I have started documenting from 2008 onwards, sir. But we started.
Is it? Okay.
But then I remembered whatever I had experienced and I put it.
Yeah, but
No, see, I have my own daily basis writing a sort of diary, what that day happened and its events and things. That gives me very good. Since 79, I'm doing it. I can go back and see that what I have done that day or interaction. It's all based on our day-to-day affairs. From the spirituality point of view, but recently when I have gone into spiritual deeper and deeper, it says detach. The moment I write something, document, it is attachment, right, to that. Because then I think that for me, it can change from people to people. It depends on what that individual's preference. That is the main reason I was thinking, is that documentation is required or practice is sufficient for it? Different people will have different way. Okay, nothing is right, nothing is wrong. Whatever works for them, they should do it. Since you are asking for me to document, but I am not good at documentation, do I need to do it? Is a question.
This question is for whom, me or Lata?
For you. Lata didn't ask me to document. You asked me to do documentation.
No.
But I document, whenever you talk, whatever happens, whatever, I document it in certain way. But I don't do it systematically like what Lata has done. She has given full focus for that, and it is documented. It will be very good for people in future to refer. That is true. If that is not my preference of doing, because I may not be good at documentation, I may be good at maybe talking, for example. In that case, do I need to document? Because you have been telling me to document, and I am poor also in that. I know very well.
No, you are documenting the day-to-day affair. That means you are not poor in documentation. Otherwise, you wouldn't have documented from 1979. So that means you are very good in documenting. So, in the same way, see, where is the question of attachment? And
see, I am good at making notes. Somebody talks, I keep making notes and preserve it, and I know that when to go there and recall it. That is notes of others.
No, just to.
But my own spiritual experience documentation, I am very poor.
No, you are calling it a spiritual experience, and that's the reason you don't want to document. Let us say from 79 you already documented, right? So if you were poor in documentation or you did not like to document, you wouldn't have done that. See, if you were only interested in making notes, you wouldn't have documented what you did from 79.
Yeah, one question I'll ask, but why do you want to separate those notes and the spiritual experience? That's also part of your life, right?
Correct. That is what I wanted to come to, and you asked the right question.
So anyway, you are writing from
that experience is also going into this diary, not as a spiritual diary.
Correct. That is enough.
Hey, what you are doing is spiritual experience you are documenting because that's the highest priority for you, and you are nicely doing it somewhere. As and when it comes to your mind, whenever you are having, you can recall and do that.
Yes.
That is yes. Mine is from the transaction point of view, I have done it. That if I have done that day some meditation, I can go and just write, I did this meditation. This is my experience. But it is not separated actually. It's all together, but not focus given to spiritual documentation.
Yeah, that is fine. I think that is also okay.
But the moment I read that yesterday, immediately day before yesterday, same thing I was thinking. three gunas and related one. On that 3 gunas pillar only, all this happens.
Yeah, that is correct. See, actually, I have.
Then I thought, how come my thought is there in your documentation? I was just thinking. Then what is there for me to document?
There are many sages who asked to document. Swami Shivananda recommends to document.
Oh, they recommend.
Yes, Ramana Maharshi recommends to document. Actually,
is it?
Yeah, recommends
Ramana
to
Maharshi
document.
he's a Mauni, right?
Yeah, correct. Some recently I read. I don't know whether it's true, whether it is or that.
Okay.
There are many so that you can look at it and then
But
see where you are
Sriyam's,
making progress.
Sriyam's documentation is very, very useful for us,
Yeah.
for the
So,
public.
correct. So you can see when you are making what actually are you doing in a spiritual journey? You are modifying your mind. So if you document, then you can see whether your mind has transformed on a day-to-day basis after some. So now I can, if I have not documented, I may be knowing a little bit, okay, something has transformed. But what has transformed, you don't know. So when I go back and read, then I can say, okay, from there to here, my mind was there and it has moved till here. So that's how. And in official stuff, I don't make any documentation. In any other personal stuff, I don't make any documentation. This is the only documentation I have ever made.
Yeah, I know that also.
I don't make any notes while going to office or in meetings also. I don't make any notes like that. And but this is the only documentation I have made. So when you are want to make some changes, it's good to note. If you have a very good memory, then it's fine. If you have a photographic memory and you can recall what has been done, then fine.
Yeah. Correct. Perfect. Very good.
Yeah, Padmashi is silent.
Let me put whenever I have some experience like that.
Yeah.
In my own diary, I can write spiritual one section within that only.
Yeah, in the same day you can write spiritual.
The same day is easy, yes.
Yeah, Padma Shri is silent. She only started this.
Yeah, and then Vilas put me in a spot.
No, I did not put in a spot. It's okay.
No. I started it. I just tried to connect the whole thing and into it. But then the moment I put it, Lata had so many more questions. I just wanted to know whether my understanding was right. Lata's, I had one barrage of questions. Are you doing this? Are we doing that? Are we doing this? So I understood that, okay, I'm on the right path after that. No, because that happens only when that is correct, right? Only when that is correct, okay, now that you have understood it, are you really doing it is the next step. But then I wanted to find out whether I had understood it right, but I got the answer finally. And this discussion is very interesting and nice, yes. Documenting, when you are telling about documenting, I generally have everything in the memory. I don't document anything. Any of these things I don't document. I had started it when I was very young, but then when I document that and then when I'm keeping on looking, searching for it, it goes off somewhere. So then my focus goes into searching the document rather than trying to think what happened. So from then on, I rely more on my memory than documentation.
So we three people have three kind of vasanas.
Yes, of course.
Everyone, not three, all. All people have their own kind of vasana. And that is, the vasanas are non-negotiable also.
Vilas, one question here is related to vasana. It changes from age to age, right? The same person, young age, you have vasana attraction to maybe eating sweets. And when you reach, as per Shankaracharya, Taruna, Taruni, Saktaha, it changes, hormone change and all that changes your way of thinking about the life itself. When you reach elderly, then again, your complete understanding changes because you have seen the life now. Now, your vasana is more attracted to maybe people like us, to spirituality or something, not so much about the material. Now, can you explain me why this change happens? It should be same, right, throughout the life.
It has not changed at all. There is no change. That particular vasana is coming in different flavor, that's all. See, the first thing is sweet. You said about sweet. Okay, why do people like sweet? Why do children like sweet?
That is because that time they're very active tongue. This one is buddhi is not developed, but taste is fully functional because of the food.
No, the sweet taste gives happiness, and the spicy food gives irritation. So everybody wants sweet talk, and all that is part of sweet. That means it gives a layer of happiness. Now when Taruna and Taruni, isn't it sweet? Same sweet, same happiness.
So mind is sweet.
The mind is getting sweet. Here the tongue did not experience sweet. The tongue has no idea of sweet. The mind experienced sweet as a child. So I would love to have sweets. Now the same sweet taste is there in the girl or there in the boy. And when you come to the old age, the same sweet is there in spirituality. So the same sweet is happiness. So one happiness through sweet, another happiness through girl or through boy, and another happiness through spirituality. So your vasana is majorly happiness driven. So you are in quest of happiness or in pursuit of happiness. There was a movie also by that name, In Pursuit of Happiness. Basically, that's what we are doing. That is the primary, what I can say, vasana in everyone, is to search for that happiness. That is what bliss is. You are searching for yourself. And that's the reason you cannot find the root cause for vasana. I don't know how far I answered.
To some extent.
Yeah, I think whatever, even if it is sweet or anything, whatever we do, we are searching for that enjoyment which we get in our heart.
That is, yes, that is right. That's the fundamental thing.
That's a fundamental thing. So, and then some things which give you that enjoyment is what you crave for again and again.
Yes, and
Whatever that thing is, if it is a sweet you want to eat, that is enjoyment, then you would like to eat that. If it is something on job well done, so you have done some challenging project and that's what it gives you that enjoyment, you want to do that again and again. So similarly, many things, if you go to Himalayas, for example, and it gave you that happiness, you want to go there again and again. So that's but actually it is not that you want to go to Himalayas, or it's not that what you actually want to get success, but you want to feel that enjoyment in your heart. And that's what we are doing. But then we don't recognize that that's what we are looking for, but we think that we are looking for that success. We want to go through that Himalaya trek and all that, and then you go behind it actually. But actually you are looking for that enjoyment which we get. Right?
yeah, that is correct. So that final reward is happiness. When you enjoy, you want it more and more, because that is what happiness is all about.
And then you realize that happiness is there within you only. So you don't have to do anything to get that happiness. You can always get that happiness. And then if you realize it really, then you will stop going behind other things.
Yes, correct.
See, but that Kedarnath trek of yours is long history now.
It's only memory. That's what I'm thinking. I should not recall unnecessarily those memories because it is over.
Yes,
Spiritual point of view.
Yeah, but
Worldly point of view, yes, it is wonderful achievement which was done.
yeah, it was done. It is gone.
Gone.
So that's
What you said now is the interplay I was thinking, that you're always connecting that happiness to all those things you did. So you want to do that again and again to get that happiness. So that interplay, if you cut and then seek happiness other way, so you will not be having those impressions deeply inside you. Then you will be, that ego will start to die, is what I meant when I wrote that statement.
Yeah, correct.
Ego is very, very important here.
Correct, Padmashri.
So I have now 3 spiritual gurus today.
No.
No.
No, it's a great statement. Immediately convincing.
Yeah, I think if we relate it to our daily experiences and then talk in that terms, then I guess it makes sense. Rather than in concepts with respect to Rajas, Tamas, and this and that are all like concepts which you are not able to understand. So if you really bring it to a real experience, what you experience on a daily basis, then we'll be able to understand it better.
So what it shows is
Yes.
that you are now all realized people.
So you can
If you have say 10 levels of realization, maybe first, second level may be true. But there are many more levels.
No, you forget about the levels. You are realized to a good extent. So very nice. So all thanks to Padmashri, not Padmashri, sorry, Shankaracharya for Vivekachudamani. So it has worked.
Yeah, it is directly coming and giving some knowledge.
Yes, so now you don't have to go and recite.
Anything we do, I am able to get that message, whatever we discussed so far, whatever you taught.
Yeah, now you don't have to go and recite the Veda because that Veda is here only.
You are making me to stop Veda.
No, I am not making you to stop Veda. I am making you to stop reciting the Veda, instead investigate the Veda.
Yes. Actually, I am in that phase now.
Yeah, that is the right thing to do. So Shankara,
See, currently I am in Saraswati Suttam. In that Saraswati Suttam, I am trying to understand what is that Saraswati.
correct. Good one. Okay, very nice. So shall we continue on 141?
Yes, sure.
No, otherwise we can continue on whatever we are talking today. So,
No, I think we should have progress in this Vivekachudamani shloka also. It gives every time some new message. Learning.
okay.
At least one shloka should be there.
Okay. So there is Maha Moha Graha Grasana Galitatma Vagmano Avagmanah Dhiyo Nana Avastatam Swayam Abhinayan Tad Gunataya Apare Samsare Vishaye Vishapure Jalanidhav Nimajya Unmajya Ayam Brahmati Kumatihi Kusita Gatihi. So Mahamoha, highest delusion. So what is the highest delusion we have? What do you think is the highest delusion? What do you think is the highest delusion? No idea? The highest of the delusion is that I existed yesterday, I am existing now, and I'll be existing tomorrow. Okay, so we don't believe that it's just memory what you are going to have as yesterday, or even half an hour ago, or even 10 minutes ago, like whatever this Lata was speaking about. Now that has gone into memory. There is nothing we can go back and do. So that one is Mahamoha, that I existed then. And the second moha is I am existing now. And the third biggest moha is I will exist in the future. So I have a past, I have a present, and I will be existing in the future. The reality is neither you existed in the past, nor you are existing now, nor you will exist in the future. And nobody is like that. Nobody existed in the past, nobody is existing now, and nobody is existing in the future. This actually is Advaita. It just keeps on moving. There is just like a river flowing. You keep on flowing and you think that is my life. Whereas just like two trains, train A and train B, you are sitting in train A and the train B leaves the platform. It seems as though your train is also moving. That's exactly what is happening with all of us. We are not going anywhere. We are not doing anything. You just exist. There is nothing you are doing anything about it. So this Mahamoha is like a shark. It literally swallows the self. The knowledge of the self is removed. And then it takes the different states of his intellect and its attributes and thinks that that is myself. And because of this, apara samsare vishaya vishapure jalanidhav, in this boundless ocean of samsara, filled with the poison of the sense pleasure, he drifts about here and there. Nimajya, sinking, unmajya, rising. I am Brahmati, Kumatihi, Kumatihi. Ku is bad. Mati is intellect. So the intellect is completely deluded. So it becomes a Kusita Gatihi. Gati is the destiny. Kusita. Kusita means marooned, gone down. And that's all what is happening between the day and the night, and the night and the day. That's exactly what we all are doing. We get up, brush our teeth, because that is how we started our journey. Then we'll have some coffee or tea, and the child is going to have some milk. Then it will get ready to go to school, and we get ready to go to office. Then some activities. The child will have school activities, the parent will have office activity, the father will have office activity, and the mother also has office and home activity, both taken together. So that consciousness, self, is in three parts. Like in my home, in this home, if I were to consider, one as this person who is talking, another is one who is taken the role of a wife, another one is the person who has taken the role of a son. So what is the Mahamoha is that I believe that my son existed and he was born on so and so date and he is my son. That is the biggest of the Moha. And he is going to exist today and he is going to exist tomorrow also. Not able to see that he never existed in the first place as son. He existed only as a Jivi. It's got nothing to do with being my son or whatever it is. Then I believe that there is this wife, which is another moha, same principle as my son, and she thinks I am her husband, so equally moha. So now we have a samsara, which is completely poisoned up. Every bit of water, every drop of water is poisoned by the senses, because as I see my son, that attachment that he is my son comes into the memory, and this is how the vasana makes it happen. So now we want an enjoyment, like what Lata was talking about. So that enjoyment is, the son is an enjoyment, wife is an enjoyment, husband is an enjoyment. So these three objects are enjoyable object, and we want the three objects here to behave in a particular way. So we have conditioning. So if something goes wrong there, we don't like it. The other two will not like. If my son is not doing as required, then the parents are not happy. If the father is not doing what that son wanted, the son is not happy. And if the husband is not doing what the wife wanted, the wife is not happy. And some activities where the son and the wife feel unhappy, and there are things which the son and the wife do and I am unhappy. So we are in search of that happiness in that object, which is the Mahamoha. So now we have created a sense sphere of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell and thought, all of which create a shark kind of tendency, keeps on eating the self. Whereas in reality, there was no wife and there is no son. It's only the consciousness split into three parts. So as the time comes, the so-called wife will go away, and when the time comes, the so-called son also goes away, and that is happening every day. And the so-called husband also goes away. So the body will become a photograph, which already it has become. Only thing is that it has to be put on a wall, and that is the fate. That is a gati. Kusita gatihi. Marooned in water. Any question?
No, I don't have.
Okay, so that is how the ignorance is going to be. So 142nd verse. Bhanu Prabha Sanjanita Abhra Pankitah Bhanum Tirodhaya Vijrambate Yatha Atma Udita Ahankritah Tataha Atma Tattvam Tirodhaya Vijrambate Swayam. Bhanu Prabha Sanjanita, just as generated by the rays of the sun. Abhra, cloud. Panktihi, gets into different formations. Bhanu Tirodhaya, then that very sun removes that which was produced. Atma Udita Ahankritah Tatha, so also arisen from the self, the ego, then wields the very self or the principle of reality that had itself produced it. That means the sun produced the cloud and the cloud covers the sun. In the same way, the ego was produced by the self and the ego covers the self. That is what it is going to be. Because of that, 143rd verse talks about the Vikshepa Shakti again.
In 142, it says,
Yeah,
this Ahankara, ego, is born out of Atma. Is it
correct.
true?
Yes, that is correct.
But ego is Prakriti, right? Atma is Purusha. Where is that connection?
Just like the cloud is Prakriti but created by the sun. That is a
But
same.
again, Atman is not. Atman and these are Mula Prakriti, these are two different things. So there is no relation in terms of our taking a birth. Yes, I agree. Because of light of this sun, cloud formation has happened. Because of which, when we see, we are not able to see the sun. The cloud is totally covered.
Yes. So the
But the cloud is not born. The water is not born from.
no.
Only cloud is formation. Cloud formation has happened because of the power of Purusha.
No, wait for a
But
second.
it is not born there.
No, the thing is like this. He is not talking about. He's talking about Udita, horizon, not being born.
Yes, Arisen is right.
So when you say Janma, see, he is not using the word Janma there.
Yeah. One more clarification here. So-called water has taken the power from this sun,
Okay.
and then now it is gone to transformation has happened from one form to another form,
Right.
and that transformation is a cloud formation.
Right. See, he has given a simile, but it is not about. You should not take it in a very literal sense.
Okay, got it. Then I got it. If that is why I got it, yes.
That is what he's saying.
I was looking from that angle. Okay. And from this side, it's fine, perfect.
Yeah, just like
Because
the,
I am using his power. I am in the ego stage. I think that now that sunlight is not falling here because of cloud. The cloud formation happened because of sun. I understood.
yes. So no, it's not like that. But the thing is, it's like this. The sky was clear. The sun was there.
Yes.
The sun heated up, so the water got evaporated and became cloud. Because of sun only, the cloud happened.
Yes.
So now, instead of showing the sun, it has covered the sun itself.
Yeah.
So what you see in the Ambara, Akasha, is that you will only see the cloud, just like what it is today.
Yes.
Similarly, because of this sequencing of I all the time, it created an impression that there is no other thing than an ahankara of I. And that ahankara has covered up the self. That's what it means.
Yeah.
So it's just a simile, just to give us what this,
Yeah.
how it put a curtain.
Correct. Got it. Upama.
Yeah, Upama. So 143rd verse. Kavalita dinanate durdine sandra megaihi व्यथयति हिमझङ्गझा वायुः उग्रः यथा एतन् अविरत तामसा आत्मानि अविरिते मूढाः बुद्धिं क्षपयति बहु दुःखितैः तीव्र विक्षेपशक्तिः. Okay, now we just spoke, and that is what the first line is all about. Kavalita dinanate that is in the day, the sun is swallowed up by the dense clouds. Then the cold wind brings shivering and destruction in its wake. So too by the cloud of utter ignorance, when the Atman is screened off, the foolish man is persecuted endlessly with sorrows, too dreadful by the blast of the projecting power. It can cover it up so beautifully that he keeps on putting effort to make it stronger and stronger. Just like initially when Lata was trying to say about the vasana, strength of the vasana, same thing. So it has a Vikshepa Shakti. So the person in search of happiness or that enjoyment will invent something or the other. So all the places, whatever has been created by human beings, even though it is only 4 element, we have an attraction to go there and look, go there and settle down, go there and do this or that. That is what the Vikshepa Shakti is all about. Even though he is happy in his home, he feels bored. So they want to go somewhere and enjoy. Let's enjoy weekend somewhere. It's been long time we have not gone, especially with this COVID situation. Now we are not gone. So whenever that number of cases get down, let's go and enjoy a particular place. And that is what the Vikshepa Shakti is all about, because the ignorance says that you have not enjoyed anywhere, you have not gone anywhere. Same thing is a visit to temple or to mosque or to church or to this or to that. So the person keeps on doing this because of the power of Vikshepa. What he should do is just remove the cloud, and it is there all the time. He doesn't have to go in search of it. But he says that no, I will have to search for it. And he endlessly keeps on searching and never get it. So 144th verse talks about the power of Maya. Etabhyam eva shaktibhyam bandhaha pumsaha samagataha yabhyam vimohito deham matvatmanam brahmantyayam. From these two powers, wheeling and projecting, man's bondage comes forth. Deluded by them, man mistakes his body and treats it as self and wanders with it from life to life. 99% of the time, people don't know there is something called as mind. And in science, they don't know where is the mind. They show it as brain. That is the first problem. So you have to come back to body only. So this body is the most precious vehicle. So we will do anything to safeguard this vehicle. So that's the reason we have so much of nutrition specialists, so many gymnasiums, so many yoga centers, so many things, and so many different views. One will say you should not eat rice, another will say you should eat rice, another one will say you should not eat wheat, another will say you should only eat wheat, then another will say only these the millets and other things are good for health. Another person will say millets are not meant for humans, it is fit for animals. Then one says that you should eat only vegetables and fruits. Another one will say no, you require carbohydrates and minerals and calcium and other things. And one will say you should not take medication for nutritional value. Another will say, no, you should buy those products because nowadays you don't get any nutrition in the food. So you need to supplement. So you need to go for supplements. One will say that exercising is good for health. Another one will say exercising too much is not good for health. One will say drinking is not at all good for health. Another one will say drinking in moderation is very good for health. All of this is Maya. So in search of this, he keeps on going from one life to another life because he wants the body. So he gets the body. That's all what we are interested in. I think we will take the 145th verse tomorrow. It's only 4 more minutes left. But we can discuss. No questions?
Nothing to discuss. I'm waiting for part 2 also.
So we have studied Avarana and Vikshepa now.
Yes. Avarana is to cover
It clearly says all our manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, all these people put together, these components create Avarana and Vikshepa.
Yes. It just keeps on projecting. That's all.
But if you put all this away from us, naturally you can see that sunlight all the time.
Yes, it has been there all the time. So you don't have to do anything. It will never go. Because it never was created. This body was created, so it will never be there. And for that reason only we put all the effort to safeguard this body. Especially,
Say, if you want to say any one, see, there are multiple things we have studied now. 3 gunas, then manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, and then body, panchabhushas, so many things. Is there any one single solution for this?
no, there is no single solution because everybody's mentality
You
is
have to deal
different.
with all these soldiers.
No, you
And
don't.
I can say this: they are the soldiers in the opposition, what we call other enemy party. Do we need to deal with all of them, or
No.
by doing one thing we can achieve?
Yes, there is only one thing. Brahman Satya Jagat Mithya. So if you understand that, then you don't require any.
That one mantra is sufficient, right?
Yes.
That one mantra in the deepest, this one is sufficient.
Yes, you don't require so much of theory and so many different concepts and all that. This is required.
So this theory is required really to understand what is Avarana and Vikshepa, and then how to remove one after the other.
Yes.
You can also try with it direct.
Yes.
Don't worry about all this.
Yes. If you get it, if you know you are Brahman and everything else is Mithya, then done. You don't really require anything else. You have seen the sun. Over. And because you don't exist at all.
Yes.
So to break, see, but since you grow the coconut, it's like this.
Mm.
So there is coconut. Okay, so you have
Yes.
to break open the outer shell, and you get that coconut water to drink. Now let us say I don't want to drink that coconut water, and I will bake it under the sun, and then I have to cut it open, and inside also there is one shell. Right now I will have to break it. So for breaking it, I have to heat it in various places. Then it breaks. Then there is water inside, and you can drink the same water, and you have that the inside whatever is required, that is there. That is the essence of the coconut. Now the question comes, if you have already seen the coconut, what is inside, should you take so much of effort every time to break open the coconut? No, you don't have to at all.
Yeah, if I want coconut water, in the same example I'm talking about, you know where exactly you have to drill the hole and drink. Easiest. There is one hole given.
Yes. So you don't have to do many things to get that water, right?
Yes.
In the same way, if you have understood Vedanta, then you don't have to go and do all the other things. You can throw the other things and you know how to drink water.
Correct.
That's all. So the question comes, should we do all of this? This is whole idea is of
So
Vivekachudamani.
for the illiterate person who doesn't know how to read, write and all that, this Vivekachudamani of this extent may not be required, because we have so much put the science and technology in our mind. Now we have to say that science and technology is not spirituality. Spirituality is this.
Yes, that is correct.
We want to understand in the intellectual way only spirituality. That is the problem.
Yeah, so we want to bring it to a 5 sense route, which is not possible.
Correct.
So this is called as reductionist. That is, you reduce everything to its primary form, and that is not possible.
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, so we'll make
But
go ahead.
all this intellectual understanding is also like a seed which is planted, right?
Yes, it
It
is.
can sprout maybe in the next life.
Yeah, that is the only thing which gets transferred other than the impression. So all that we have done today, till whenever we are going to meet up like this, every day like this, and to whenever we are going to meet, all these impressions will go into the next life if we are not liberated.
Yeah. Your message I understood, Vilas. If I am so much attached to Veda, I will take another Janma and I'll become maybe Veda Pandita somewhere.
Yes.
I'll take a birth in that family.
Yes. And you'll
Which I
feel very
don't
happy. Which you'll feel again very happy that I am born in a Vedic family. But
I don't want.
you will be doing exactly the same thing what you have done today.
Yeah.
So what is the advantage and what is the disadvantage? Advantage of being Vedic is that you have not encountered too much of challenges in your life as of today.
Correct.
If you really look from your childhood till date. So that is the Punya Phala. And you have not got deprived. You have house, you have property, you have money, you have children who are settled, you have wife, you have land, you have all things available. Whatever can be done is there with you. So that is the benefit of Veda. And that is why Krishna said it gives you karma kanda. That is
It will take me through Karma Kanda.
yes. So now also you are in karma kanda route, and that is the reason I was saying that.
Yeah, correct.
So that is the reason I was saying to you that don't go behind Veda, and not to hurt you that you should not believe in Veda. I never said that. I said you will get only.
No, it will happen naturally. When you go deeper into Veda, it gives the same jnana, Brahma jnana.
Correct. Absolutely. But
So
that.
I am on the surface, very, very high top level surface.
Yeah. So the problem is that only 5% is there. So Upanishad 95% is on Adhyatma and 5% is on the Karma Kanda.
Yes.
And for that reason only.
Okay, I'm getting some incoming call, Vilas. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So we'll then
Thank you. Yeah.
meet up tomorrow. Okay, bye. ಇವತ್ತು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.